Hey guys, so I'm doing my November wrap-up today and I successfully got 7 books done in November, which I DNF'd a couple of them, but we'll discuss those. So let's go ahead and get started. First book that I read in November, I actually don't have any of these books physically. These were all either from the library or I sold them back to McKay's because I did not like them. The first one was The Doll Factory, and that was just a mistake. I thought that book was very different than what it actually was, and I really did not like it. I DNF'd it, and I want to say if I had continued, it probably would have gotten like a 2-star. It just was not the book for me, and I really regret just trying to read it in the first place. But thank goodness I got the audiobook from the library and I didn't waste money on it. The next one is Tunnel of Bones, and that is the second book to the City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab. I loved the continuation of Cassidy's story. I loved her relationship with Jacob, and I really liked that we were in a different city, but it still felt familiar even though the plot was completely different. This time we were in Paris, France instead of being in Scotland, and it was just super cool. The atmosphere was very chilling, and this book got a lot more personal than the first one did, which made it a tiny bit less perfect for me than the first one, just because I liked the simplicity of the first one a lot, but I still gave this one 4 stars. And the next one I read, it was pretty similar to Tunnel of Bones, but it's Dead Voices by Catherine Arden. Catherine Arden, I think. The first book was Small Spaces, which I read last month, and I really enjoyed Dead Voices. Again, totally different, kind of a wintry feel. All the characters were trapped up at a ski resort, and there were ghosts and ghouls and nasty things, and I really liked the dynamic between the 3 main characters this time. Again, a little bit more personal, a little bit more almost kind of grown up, and that wasn't really the simplistic part of the first one that I loved, so I gave this one 4 stars as well, but that is another series I am very keen to continue into. Now this next one was The Perfect Wife by J.P. Delaney. I still am confused by this book. So it's about a guy that he loses his wife in like a surfing accident, so then he creates an AI to like have his wife back, but she's a companion bot, so like she has feelings, she has some of his dead wife's memories, like, but she's slowly learning and adapting, and she kind of figures out that like maybe what I know isn't actually the truth, and it's really confusing. Now if you have a basic understanding of robotics, or if you're looking for something that's slightly more sci-fi, I would suggest this one. If you're looking for like a sci-fi thriller, this would be perfect. But for me, it was a little too convoluted, a lot of it went over my head, and I just didn't really have a good time reading it, and the ending was super not satisfying, but I still gave this one 3 stars. The next was Waiting on Tom Hanks by Carrie Winifrey. I loved this book. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. This is about a girl that she has grown up watching rom-coms with her mom, and she's obsessed with finding her Tom Hanks because he is the perfect rom-com hero, and she accidentally kind of gets rolled into this filming of a rom-com, and cute things start happening and a romance blossoms, and it's amazing and beautiful, and I loved it. It was the perfect pick-me-up after The Perfect Wife. Then the last 2 books. The 2 books that I read for Buzzword Readathon Round 5, and that was One Little Secret by Kate Houlihan. 2 stars. Hated it. The characters are just so predictable, but they're also like so stereotypical thriller characters that it's not even funny anymore. They didn't really have anything original about them, and it kind of made me get to the point where I just didn't care what happened to them. And it kind of used a little autistic boy as like a plot device, and I really did not appreciate that. Honestly, like, this book was just kind of icky, and I was ready for it to be over by the time I finished it. But then the next one it was Love at First Like. Now, I thought I was gonna love this book. The first part of it was really promising. This girl finds out that her ex finally got engaged, and in a drunken, like, jealous moment, she pretends to slip on an engagement ring and pretends to post a picture of like, I said yes. But then when she wakes up the next morning, she accidentally posted it, and now like her jewelry company has skyrocketed. They're getting sales that they never would have gotten, and she decides to play along with it and try and find a secret fiance. And if you look at the cover, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you look at the cover, it spoils who she ends up with. I'm not going to say what part of it does. I'm not going to say the clue, but if you've read that book and you find the clue I'm talking about, like, private message me on Instagram, because I need somebody to talk to about it to see if my suspicion is correct. I did not like the main character. She was selfish, she was rude, she put her importance above everybody else's. I had such a hard time connecting with her at all. And I know that there are tons of people that, like, they don't have to connect with a character to enjoy the book, but it's a huge bonus for me if I can, like, see a little bit of myself in the character, and she was just so awful that it was painful to keep reading. I kind of skimmed the end, and I looked up who she ended up with and totally spoiled it for myself, and that's kind of okay because I don't think I would have been happy with the end anyway. So I gave that one 2 stars as well. So yeah, this month has been a little disappointing as far as like reading ratings. I gave out 2 stars and I had a DNF, but the others were all 3 and 4 stars. So like, it's not horrible. I just didn't find any more favorites from this month, but that's kind of okay. If you do want to continue seeing what I'm reading and what I'm thinking, please do follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads. And if you want pretty nails like mine, I've got my Christmas nails on. My Color Street link is down below. That really helps support this channel and fuels my reading addiction. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!